Okay, I'm going live here on July 24. I'm giving you the update from yesterday. This is like my third live morning schedule before I get started. I rambled on for 22 minutes, and when I put it up, I didn't use the microphone and you could barely hear me. So I'm doing this over. Pull this over here. This is not the proper microphone for doing this, but if you want to make a donation, I'll give you email address. Oh, sorry about that. Hope you didn't have your headphones on for that one. Yuck, 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 yuck. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Well, anyway, let me tell you that what I was talking about in the other one was the history real quick. Let me go back to my grandfather was at Tuskegee with the airmen, but he wasn't there with the airmen. I don't know if he was or not, but he was there with W.C. Handy, father of the blues. The story was it go like what happened was my father says my grandfather was a Buffalo soldier, Ninth Cavalry. He studied at Tuskegee with W.C. Handy, father of the blues. He worked his way through the school, dumping trash, ended up as a mentored by W.C. Handy. He got good enough to substitute for W.C. Handy when he wasn't there as a professor. He was in the Army, the Buffalo Soldiers, Ninth Cavalry. When he joined the military, he was so young that he couldn't put the saddle on the horse. I'm doing a monotone here, monotone, which is just I want. Who's that? Ding dong. Oh, email. I got a viral cooking class. Oh, that's nothing. Oh, I got a voicemail. One of somebody. Are my ringers off? Anyway, let me check this while I'm doing it. See if I can multitask. Ah, housing. See what see what the message say. See what the message say.
Regarding your application for student loan forgiveness, and
Student
we
loan.
really need either to finish it today or cancel it. However, it would be a shame to miss out on some new programs because of the current global crisis. So whether you want to proceed with your application or just cancel it, it is no problem. Just let us know before 5 p.m. today by calling
Oh my
855
goodness, he giving
233
me a deadline.
0333. Thank you and have a great day.
He giving me a ultimatum. You know, it would be nice to go back to school if I qualify for a free grant. W.C. Handy, my grandfather, Buffalo Soldiers, St. Louis Blues. Couldn't put the saddle on a horse because he was so young. He was in the Bugle Corps. His job was to bring the Indians back to the reservation with I was going to say without killing them, but they could have killed them because I'm pretty sure back then the president said the only good Indian was a dead Indian. But they gained the respect of the Indians. That's why they gave them the title of one of their sacred animals, the buffalo. Called them buffalo soldiers. You don't give your enemies titles like that. Anyway, he was in the bugle corps. They said that my father said his mouth was crooked from blowing the charge, riding the horse with the trumpet sideways. And little guy. I had a picture of her. I hope I can get another one. It was in the fire. Well, anyway, my grandfather says that he wrote songs for. My father used to say that if he had to learn a piece, if he didn't learn a piece, he would end up in a God house, or if he didn't know his music. He said he wrote a piece. He was a director for the marching bands in the military. He said one of the pieces he wrote got stolen by the other uh, military marching bands, regiments. He said every other band was playing his song, marching down the street. So there's a song that was written by my grandfather that may be still in the public domain that the military is still playing. No, it's not one of the Sousa songs, but that's something to look into. But it's William Bright, Buffalo Soldier. I wanted to say that I was rambling on earlier about the. My father said that when he got out the military, he would start a band. He would buy instruments and give it to the children in the neighborhood and start marching bands. My father said my grandfather had a trailer that he hooked up behind the car, and he said he painted it silver. And he said it was funny. He said when he used to drive down the street, he said white folks used to stare at him with their mouths open. That was back then when I guess the times were tight, but they were in the vaudeville acting. My father, uncle, my father played drums as a child. Where they had my in fact, my aunt was known as Black Shirley Temple, and believe it, Shirley Temple's last name was Black. And my aunt was Black Shirley Temple. My aunt said she hated show business. She had the Shirley Temple curls, natural curly hair, and she hated it. I think she didn't want to go on was it amateur hour or whatever it was, and she said at the last minute they changed their mind. They didn't go because it was too much paperwork. Things you had to sign your life away back then. Well, anyway, my father tells me that they, as black people, everybody, if you wanted to go on stage, if you didn't own your own company, I think even if you owned your own company, it was an unwritten law. You had to put cork up. You had to burn a piece of cork, wipe the black on your face, and perform in blackface. I'm sure you probably know the history that minstrel were. It was started by white people making fun of black people on stage. But the thing about it, the music that the black people were playing was so complex that it was an accomplishment to duplicate it. That what we people call the Beverly Hillbillies, what they call hillbilly music, was banjo music, was black people's music that they played very complicated pieces. The plucking, people call it country music. They they actually think it's white people's country music, but it was minstrel music. They were making fun of black folks with their. They were virtuosos of the banjo and guitar. I don't know if it's guitar. I have to figure out how long a guitar is. Not an old instrument. Mandolin is older than the guitar, but the banjo, you got to look this stuff up. They call it white country music. Even the Western music was called slow Western boogie. It came from the boogie woogie. That that's slow Western boogie. They call that Western music. It came from boogie. The original name for that is slow Western boogie. It's so funny. I guess black people say they did everything first. Little Richard said, I call it the Little Richard effect, like the Mandela effect. It's the Little Richard effect. I did that first. Anyway, my grandfather was with W.C. Handy when he wrote the St. Louis Blues. So I guess my ancestors, my lineage goes directly back to American music. My family had something to do with the origin of American music. W.C. Handy and William Bright. They both had the same first name, William. Something to look that up. Look that up. Do the research. I don't have the papers. All the papers turned white that we had. They had one picture of my grandfather with two other people. I need to try to get that picture and show it to you. My father tells a story. I'm rambling on again. I'm on 9 minutes. I was supposed to be giving you an update about yesterday. Yesterday, I was supposed to get down on these. Yesterday, the camera angle was so bad that when I showed you, you look at the books, all you see is white. I did take piano lessons. Did I tell you that? Everybody in my family. Oh yeah, I rabbled on it. The other video, I had to delete it. And I took piano lessons. The first song I played on the piano with one finger, I think I must have been 7 or 6, was Bewitched and Bewildered. You know, bum 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 da ba da 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 da. That's as far as I got when I was playing with one finger. They made me take piano lessons. I had a private piano teacher. Fast forward, played in a band. I wanted to say that the funk music, funk rock, just like hip hop, it was a lot of it originated, a certain style of it originated in Southeast Washington. I hung out in high school in the 70s. We didn't get credit for that. Living Colors is one of the groups that came out of Southeast Washington. Victor Wooten, you see, he came over to the jam session that we had. Me and my brother we were the Moxley brothers. There was the Hicks brothers. If you belong in the Southeast, you would know Terry Baker, City Paper is a very good friend of ours. I'm glad to say. Kevin Powell, type in his name. He's been around the world. Kevin Powell, Terry Baker, uh, Mousy Thomas Smith, James Brown's drummer, Sugar Bear, the young hip hop. He did a thing with Spike Lee doing the butt. These are people that went to high school with us. We hung out after school over. We hung out together over. It's funny. We used to call it a white boy's house. It was a guy named Graham Fox. Everybody used to come over his house and puff pass. It was Chinese, Mexican, all kind. It was a guy there named Sugar Bear. He was a Mexican. It's a Mexican dude or Hispanic. I don't know what he was. I hate that. I'm not. I hope I'm disrespecting the Latino race, Mexican, Latino. Uh, uh, I have utmost respect. Don't say anything bad about people of that descent around me, because I will speak up. Years ago, people used to say they were taking the job, and I say, "You the lazy one. They took your job because you're lazy." You know, how many other nationalities you see out trying to around Walmart or Home Depot looking for work, willing to work, and then when I hired two on when I was three on when I was ready to leave, and they didn't want to take a break. I often said, "No," they were sweat pouring off of them. They didn't take a break. They wanted to get back to work so they can get some more, make some more work, man. Hard working people. Anyway, I say that to say, where am I rattling off of? The jam sessions after school. We had a jam session. Victor Wooten was there. Mousy Thomas was there from James Brown's drummer. I remember James Brown was with Peaches and Herb. After he left Peaches and Herb, he said he was retired. He said he's not going to go with anybody unless they're good. Next thing we know, he's with James Brown. When James Brown made the comeback, well, I remember a song came out, "Living in America." I said, "Wow, that's Mousy." We grew up with him. Anyway, after high school, we were playing funk music. We were trying stuff like, yes, a Return to Forever. Everybody was trying to do that Return to Forever. Anyway, I say that the funk music came out of Southeast Washington. There was Funkadelics. There was uh, Grand Funk Railroad, and there was Southeast musicians. Everybody was playing that uh, Grand Funk Railroad, because when Grand Funk went, we American band, we were the people said that they sold out. We didn't want to learn that. I don't even know if any Southeast group wanted to play Grand Funk after that. We were devoted rock fans. The funk music came from Southeast. Like I said, Living Colors was one of the groups. Terry Baker, I need to have him on my program. I haven't even figured out how to hook this stuff up yet. You can see by the quality of my camera and the sound, my audio it's probably distorted now. I'm probably talking too loud. Uh, Santana took a cougar player from Southeast. We thought was sorry. Like I said, Spike Lee did a thing with Sugar Bear. Terry Baker went with Miles Davis. He told me he met uh, Prince and all those guys back then. He said that the average guitar player in Southeast could run circles around anybody that he met around the world. We were advanced musicians back in the day. Anyway, I took piano lessons. I say jumping around. I was one of the piano players back then. Well, anyway, like I said, the jam session we had over our house. Uh, I'm pretty sure Victor Wooten was there in Southeast. I'm pretty sure that was him. If you run into him and ask him. Also, too, I met Sinbad. Used to come over some. I'm not going to tell everything, but Sinbad used to hang out after our after school hours, and none of your business what was happening there. But we everything was clean back then. It's different. I would say smoking weed was different back then than it is today. Everything was done respectfully. We had black lights, posters, burned incense. Everybody sat around, and it was peaceful. Even in the parks, even when you went out in the parks and people smoked in the area, it was always a big circle. You would sit on the ground. You would sometimes bring a blanket, and back then the wine was popular. Everybody would have a little brown jug and drink your wine, and you would share your wine with somebody. Or back then, if you took a six pack out there, you would walk up to somebody, ask them for a beer, or it wasn't uncommon to you walk past somebody, ask them for a joint. They would roll your joint, and you could walk off and see you later. Thank you very much. Or you sat down and smoked a joint with somebody. After it was over, they might roll you. I don't have to smoke. I'm not condoning anything. Uh, Everything done in properly decent order. In fact, matter of fact, it's legal now, so I don't smoke anymore. That's another story. I'll talk about that later. But that's not the point. The point is what I'm talking about is what's my point? My point was I met Sinbad at the after hour hangout spot. Nothing to say bad about him. He's beautiful. He's a role model. As a matter of fact, you can see that. I always say that Sinbad couldn't act, but he can act like himself, and he has a guideline that he won't go past. He's not a sellout. That's why he's not on every television show. But he was there. Sinbad hung out. Yesterday, I did not get a lot of work done on my exercising handle exercises. I need to supposed to be go get through this book. Like I said, I'm going to go on my sight reading kick. Before Halloween, I should be able to. I'm gonna say by Christmas, but because after Halloween, I got to start on my Christmas songs. I need to start working on my Christmas songs right now. I will say, yesterday I did memorize giant steps. Today I need to move into the exercises for giant steps. I'm going to put up the name of my piano teacher that I get. Matter of fact, I think I would I might copy it and paste it and put it in the comments. Yeah, I'm going to copy and paste it and put it in the comments so you can see. He's a very good teacher. And I'm going to wind it up here. Break fast. Yesterday, like I said, I didn't get a lot done at all, but I did get that giant steps. I didn't get my exercise. I need to set at the piano. I need to get at the piano at least by 11 o'clock. And I need to set at the piano for 20-minute stretches. I do like an hour, sometimes 2 hour stretches at a time. You're supposed to take breaks every 20 minutes. At least get up and stretch your legs. so your brain can reboot. Uh, 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 you get better concentration when you take more breaks in between. Yeah, I know you could probably sit at the for 4 hours at a desk in the office, but that's not the proper way to do anything. You know, less productive. You want the maximum. Always take a ginkgo peel. I yesterday I took the uh, what's the bee pollen peel. It's so funny. I do take one peel. I stopped taking it every day years ago, and I take it like once. So first I was taking it once a week or once every 3 days or 4 days, and then I started feeling a little funny because I wasn't getting my medicine. After what, the medicine got to build up in your system in order to work whatever illness you have. And now I got to take the pill every day or every other day now for to get back into my system. I wasn't taking it so long. Anyway, so the goal is memorizing jazz tunes, at least one, sight reading, exercises, should be able to learn how to sight, and I should know how to sight read, and work on my bebop skills. And it's Christmas time, so it's if you going to learn Christmas songs, some people can wait to the last minute and just, but I like to learn a song and let it ferment. If you listen to my music, most of the stuff I put on the internet now are new songs that I just brushed up on. That Charlie Brown song, I even learned that over in a different key. I have different versions of the Charlie Brown song. The one that I learned in the new key, because I was playing in the wrong key, and I have an old version. This is I forgot what key I used to play in, but this is I was playing the wrong key. So that's not muscle memory there. I can concentrate on that. But I say that to say when I learn a song, it has a ferment. Oh, overtime. Overtime. Let me sign off. Uh, thanks for I like to say thank you everybody for listening. Leave a comment. Nobody's leaving a comment. One guy left a comment yesterday, I think, but he was actually advertising something about girls. Some guy follows me around and pasted his stuff in there. I think he just does that for advertisement. Leave a comment if you want to make a donation. I give you my address. I'm on a shoestring budget here. You can tell by the cheap camera and the sounds terrible. Oh, I do have a microphone coming in from Sweetwater. They don't pay me for saying Sweetwater's a very good store. If you're a new musician, I wouldn't buy anything from it. I might as well say it. I'm not putting them down, but what Guitar Center used to be a pawn shop. It's not. It's a. If they don't guarantee, if you can't send it back with a label, they don't give you a label, or they say call the company. I love Sweetwater. They don't pay me. Matter of fact, I'm mad at Sweetwater because when my apartment got burnt down, matter of fact, it didn't burn down because all my stuff was stolen and the landlady didn't. Rabbling on again. I must be a rabbling man. Time to check out. Anyway, like I said, peace and hair grease. Leave a comment. If you want to make a donation, you want to send me something, send me a nice. If you want to send me a nice pair of relaxing pants, because this only pair of pants I got for relaxing in. Okay, I just got one pair of house pants. You can send something. I ain't mad at you. I ain't begging neither. But beggars can be choices. Yes, I am. If you want to donate, you can help me out. Help me out. I'm just serious. Time's up. Peace and hair grease. See ya. Smell you later. No, I'm just serious. See you later. Checking out. Bonk.